44 state attorneys general are joining together to urge Facebook to abandon plans for an Instagram for kids. In a letter to CEO Mark Zuckerberg, the AGs expressed concerns about children's physical and mental safety online and uncertainty about Facebook's ability, quote, to protect the safety and privacy of children on its platform. Now, Facebook insists their Instagram for kids would be safe and free and come with parental controls. Now, wherever you fall in this debate, it's starting a new conversation about kids and social media, which is already a complicated one. Joining me now for more on this is Republican Attorney General Dave Yost of Ohio and Democratic Attorney General Mark Herring of Virginia. Thanks to you both for joining us on this. And so, Attorney General Yost, I'll start with you because this joint letter cites specific concerns about kids and social media. And you write privacy issues like who has access to what kids share online, inappropriate content being seen, and a current problem, the alarming rates of cyberbullying. Is there anything that Facebook could do to convince you and other AGs that, Instagram for kids would be safe?
Well, the product doesn't exist yet in the wild, so it's a little bit difficult to be able to say what that might look like. All we have right now to go by is the common experience that anybody that gets onto Facebook can see, which is that they don't even enforce their own rules all that well. The experience on Facebook is very uneven, and we see cyberbullying happening there, even though that is ostensibly against the rules.
And Attorney General Herring, a Facebook spokesman told the Washington Post that kids are already online, and so this is really just a way to improve parental controls. Is there something to that argument? I mean, for instance, there's a YouTube, and then there's also a YouTube Kids.
Well, a child-specific social media platform really opens them up to exploitation by both predators as well as cyberbullying. Let me take up the predatory aspect first. In 2020, Facebook and Instagram reported 20 million child sexual abuse images. And as attorneys general, one of the most important and difficult roles that we have is to protect vulnerable people, especially our children. And it also opens them up to cyberbullying. In a 2017 survey, reported that 42% of young Instagram users had experienced cyberbullying. So these social media platforms for kids 6 to 12 years old really carries some distinct harms to young children. And it was very concerning in congressional testimony that Mr. Zuckerberg really dismissed the connection between social media and those distinct harms to children.
AG Yost, what do you say to Republicans who point out that, the GOP is usually for less regulation and a free market, and this is the government essentially doing the opposite here?
Well, look, we're against, as a party, the idea that the government has to give you permission to do things that are not harmful. But we all support rules that keep consumers safe. We all want people to drive on the right side of the road and not crash into each other. These are just things that we have as a duty, Republicans or Democrats, to keep control over. Look, you have a situation where you're creating an electronic playground. You might as well just be putting out a neon sign that said, predators look here. Grooming, boyfriending, these things already happen at large in the cyber world. Adding an electronic playground is only going to exacerbate the problem.
And Attorney General Herring, do states have the tools to limit access to this app if it comes to that once it comes online?
Well, I would hope that first that Facebook would really rethink this idea because, as General Yost said, if there is a specific social media platform specifically for kids age 6 to 12, you're going to have a specific group of accounts who are all children who will make it even easier for predators. And we know that dangerous individuals can hide behind the internet and its anonymity in order to prey on kids. And this is some of the, again, the most important and difficult work that we as attorney generals are engaged in, which is to protect children from exploitation online.
Yeah, and 44 state attorneys general are in agreement on this. Attorney General Mark Herring of Virginia and Dave Yost of Ohio. My thanks to the both of you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.